Well. Good morning. And we are brought to you today by our two signature sponsors, Recon Tecs of Springfield, your one stop vehicle reconditioning center. Recon Tecs. You just call them 217 670 1132 and ask for a detail. Get your car detailed and looking better than it has since before it was new. It's Recon Tecs of Springfield. Give them a call, have them detail your car, get it looking awesome. And today is a good day to remind you that just ask them to put a remote car start in, because wouldn't it be nice on a day like today where literally the sound of ice was hitting my house and keeping me awake last night. that's how bad it is. The sound of ice hitting my head or hitting the house keep me awake. My poor wife, she's got a migraine out the yin yang. You guys who have migraines, you know how. I'm sure you know how that goes. Yeah, it's just killing her. But listen, that ice is not good, and you don't want to drive your car if it's freezing when it's like this. You'd much rather hit a button and let the car run for a while and get the heat going and then get inside your car. Remote car start can do that. Order one today from Recon Tecs. Call 217-670-1132. It's Recon Tecs. Let them take care of getting remote car start put in. And we are also brought to you today by our friends over at Just Beds. They will get you a new bed to give you a good night's sleep. Get your bed from Just Beds. Go on over and get a new bed, one that is comfortable, and will give you a good 8 hours of sleep. That's what you need from Just Beds. It's Just Beds. All you do is go in, lay in a bunch of beds, and pick one, and then give some money and go home. They will deliver it to you. It's Just Beds. They deliver the bed to your home. They even take out your old bed. If it's nasty ones, they put it in Steve's front yard. Thank God they dispose of the mattress properly. And that's what they do at Just Beds. Order your new bed or get your new bed today. Swing by Just Beds at 3120 Montvale Drive. That's 3120 Montvale Drive. Just Beds, the fine signature sponsors of this show. We are live. My name is Ray Lytle. I have that noisy Steve Stanton next to me. I'm so glad his camera is so clear now so we can see all of the we could just see this disfigured mess. How you doing, Steve?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, buddy?
I'll be honest with you. I just rolled out of my Just bed after a good 8 hours sleep.
How was it? Are you liking the new bed?
I'm sleeping 8 hours. I'm going to bed at 10 o'clock and sleeping until 7 in the morning.
Isn't that awesome? Isn't it great to sleep in a bed? I mean, I hope to God you find a way to get some sex soon, but it's got to feel good to just sleep in it.
That's next. Sex is next.
Good for you. And you're moving around. You're making it to the bedroom okay, and you're.
I'm wearing myself out. I'm moving around so much.
That's good though. You need to move around. That's fantastic. Good for you, Steve. I'm happy for you.
I hope I can figure it out.
You hope you could figure what out?
You keep moving around,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, we could tell you could smoke weed again.
Why?
You're not the easiest to understand.
I'm not?
Yeah. You got that weed going, I can tell. You got you're preparing to murder. I can tell it's coming.
I think
By
it's
the
a
way,
small residual effect from last night. I helped do trivia last night, and
yeah.
um, I think I might have overindulged a bit because I really felt funny. I feel funny.
I could tell. Of course, you've overindulged. Of course, you've overindulged.
I only ate one caramel and had 2 puffs off my vape.
Everybody listening right now, give me your thoughts on that. Do you think Steve has only had one caramel and a couple hits off a vape?
Well, today I haven't had any caramel.
Yeah. I bet you've had some vape hits this morning.
So I have to go to the doctor later.
How have your swinging by and getting your IV been
Well,
going? Your infusion.
it's like this.
Yeah.
Okay, it's I'm going. It's going. I mean, I'm getting my infusions as needed. It's a little disheartening, man.
Cindy's
It
right.
takes me 40 minutes to get there and everything, and it
Yeah.
only takes 30 minutes for the infusion.
Yeah.
And then I turn around and walk all the way back down the long hallway.
Yeah.
Walk
Why don't you
all.
just ask for a wheelchair?
Well, here's how that started out. I started these infusions on Saturday. Wouldn't they warn me ahead of time
Yeah.
that on Saturdays and Sundays they don't have people to push you in a wheelchair? So I said, well, how far of a walk is it? And they said, oh, it's not that far, really. So I'll give it a try. So I walk. What it is now I can I'm parking over in the parking lot where I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
I walk it across the street,
Yeah.
up the ramp, into the lobby,
Yeah.
and I get my sticker. I don't sit down yet.
Good.
I walk through the cancer center, down the long hallway to the Lincoln elevator.
Yeah.
That's where I stop and sit. And there's a nice hard bench right there by the elevator. And
Yeah.
I'm usually there about 1:15. So I'm very early. My appointments aren't until 2:00.
Oh, good.
So I sit there and I take a little break.
And
I
get your
breathe.
breath. Yeah.
I breathe, yeah. A lot of doctors stop and say, are you okay, sir?
Are you dying? And then you have to clear them up and say, I'm not dying.
Then I jump in the elevator.
I'm just fat.
Usually jump in the elevator and go up to the 6th floor, and they know me now by name, and I just get my badge and.
Are you Steve or are you Mr. Stanton?
I'm Steve.
All right, good.
I'm Steve. How are you, Steve? Or I'm, hey, over here. Sometimes I do that when I'm walking away.
Yeah.
They yell at me because I don't hear them.
Something else.
It's going good, and I hope, cross my fingers, that it doesn't. I think I'm only going to have to do 4 weeks.
Oh,
and then I'll be done.
Because it's even better.
Yeah, because I'm taking these whatever this antibiotic is that they're giving me. I think it'll kill
it. Falutin tootin.
Oh, when they meant explosive diarrhea, they meant explosive diarrhea.
Well, thanks for Thanks for jumping along to that. Thanks for.
And he wasn't lying about that one.
Well, so your stomach is not great, is what you're saying. I'm sorry to hear that, Steve. No, we don't need the happy. We don't need happy diarrhea music.
Oh no, no!
I'm glad you're.
But luckily, I've made it to the restroom
Wonderful.
every time.
Well, I'm glad you're making it there. You're not soiling your living room, at least.
I'm feeling. I'm just.
Cindy's saying, Steve, are you taking a probiotic? You should take a
No,
probiotic.
I don't. No. I take a lot of pills.
Christina's asked, she says, Steve, please tell me your bathroom isn't a mess already.
Oh, no, no. Bathroom is the same condition it was left in. I don't have a problem. No
By the
problem.
way, in the chat room, I see Christine in the chat room. She's doesn't feel sorry for you at all. She says, good, you need to walk. Oh, so she doesn't want you. I just want to point out that I was trying to make life easier for you, and she's yelling at you saying you need to walk. Holly says he doesn't need a wheelchair.
Oh, here we go. Okay, Jams. Oh, sound like my fucking mother.
Is your mother the same way? Is your mom the same way telling you?
Oh, yeah. You don't need a wheelchair. I don't need this.
My mother was the exact opposite. When I was in a wheelchair, and I hated being in a wheelchair. You know what I mean? When my legs and my knees are still a mess,
Yeah.
But at least I can walk. My mother, every time it was brought up that I was in a wheelchair, she sounded like it was the biggest shock thing. Oh, what? I was in a wheelchair for, over a year. And she was shocked. She acted like she didn't know. What? You're in a wheelchair? Every time oh my God, I couldn't even talk to her anymore because of the amount of shock. Well, why don't you ever stop by my house? Because I can't get into your house because you have stairs. What? She was always shocked.
Yeah.
Always shocked on how, how it was always somehow a surprise to find out that I was in a wheelchair. So I did everything in my power to get out of that damn wheelchair, So I finally got out of the wheelchair, and now she finds other ways to. But if it's ever mentioned, well, that was back when I was in a wheelchair. Oh, you were in a wheelchair? I think that's her way of denying it. Oh, my son is not a he was a wheelchair user. By the way, if anyone needs a wheelchair, it's her. And I don't know what kind of malady has forsaken my my family into this, but it's it's like my mother is somehow embarrassed or disgusted or whatever by anyone having any kind of disability in the family. Thank God I did not grow up. Thank God I wasn't or wasn't young with any kind of like I was. When I was really young, I stuttered. And Here's how my mom fixed my stutter. You're not a stutterer. You need to learn. You are not one of those stutterers.
Yeah.
So that's how I learned. That's how I learned to talk into the mirror and figure out my voice when I was young. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I was belittled. Because I would be belittled for having a stutter.
I know how it goes. I know when I took special ed classes, my mom said, he doesn't need those. He's just stupid. He's just lazy. He don't want to do the work.
What did you take why did you take this special ed class? What was it for? What did you do?
Because I need a little bit of help.
Oh, I didn't know if you were you know,
There are a few subjects.
if they diagnosed you with anything or what. I didn't know. So
I'm not as for this diagnosis. Might have been something like don't give a fuck to these or don't want to be.
I don't know. Was this like could you not read properly or?
Oh, I couldn't read properly. No, I can't do math. I can't do math in my head. I can do it on my fingers.
Wait a minute. So you can't do like a 2 + 7 in your head?
No.
Really?
Well, those I might be able to, but like,
All right, let me 7. Can you do a 7 × 7?
49.
All right, yeah, okay. Well, you learned properly then.
Well, yeah, but I can't do like if you said, 28 plus 42. I have to write it down.
28 plus 42, you have to write it down. You can't you just go? Can't you go 42 plus 20 is 62 plus 8 70? Your mind doesn't work that way?
No, my mind doesn't work that way.
Really?
Yeah, I'd have to write it down.
If I go 56 plus 12. Work it out, Steve. Come on.
Can I write it down?
No, work it out in your head. 56 plus 12.
56 plus 12.
Yeah, get there. Come on.
Okay. 56 plus 12 would be 68.
Thank you. Yeah. You could.
I worked it out the way you just said.
That's how you work. That's how you work it out. So.
Oh.
No one taught you that?
No. No, I've never been taught that.
The rest of us learned this in like first grade. You're saying you couldn't figure that out. You can't figure out how to add 37 plus 37 plus give me one that would be hard for you. I'm trying to come up with a
22.
All right, 37 plus 22. How would you figure that out?
37 plus 22?
Yeah.
37. Be 58.
Yeah. What you do is you take, you break it down to the.
In a 10, yeah.
You break it down. Yeah, you break it down to the easiest 10 and then.
Yeah, that's what I just did, yeah.
Oh, the extra. That's you've never been taught to do that?
No.
I've done that. I'm pretty sure they taught that. I'm pretty sure that's how they taught us.
I didn't even tell back when we was in school, we only had to have 1 year of math, and that's all I took in high school. 1 year of math.
People said, "Steve, did your mother abuse drugs while she was pregnant with you?"
No, but I was born with viral pneumonia.
Yeah, something happened there. But I'm saying that what you do is you take for easy math, and that's just arithmetic, Steve. For easy math like that, you just take it to the nearest 10 and you add them together.
Huh. Learn something new every day.
Can you do 83 plus 69? So this could be interesting.
Ooh,
83 plus 69 in your head, Steve. In your head. 83 plus 69. Yeah, how does that work? You could figure it out. You could figure it out, Steve.
69. Yeah. Okay. 86, 9 plus 3.
Oh, boy. 83 plus
It's
69.
12. Carry the 1.
Oh boy.
Yeah. 83, 86, 162.
No, you need here's you take your 83
Right.
plus 60.
Plus.
In fact, I'll break it down even more for you. 83 plus 20.
Well, that's easy. That's 103.
Plus 40.
143.
Plus, what was the 9? Is it the 9? Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus 9.
It's 162.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that's how you figure it out.
Oh.
You know what I mean? That's how you figure it out. So I cannot believe you've never.
No.
You were never shown that, or you never found the easier way to do it? Wow.
Huh?
Way to go, Steve.
Ooh.
Now you're somewhat learning, you know what I mean?
Oh, all right.
So I hope I helped a little bit. If I've done one thing, you know, just whatever. And Irene says she did 60 plus. She did 60 plus 60 plus 20 plus 3, you know.
That's a lot.
Whatever, you know. However you figured it out, that's how you figure it out. But I'm just saying that you need to come up with formulas in your head where you can do it. See, because of gambling, I bet over and under. So I have to be as quick as possible at the.
I learned like 8 times 8 fell on the floor, picked it up, and it was 64.
Well, no, that's you had to have a rhyme to figure out your multiplication tables.
Well, for that one,
8 times 3 is
24.
Yeah. 8 times 5 is
40.
Yeah, so they should be automatic from the way that American children were taught. That should be automatic. Your multiplication table should just come to you without thinking, you know what I mean?
Now division, I can't do division at all.
Yeah, but at least arithmetic and multiplication should be pretty easy for you. Because our public education taught us how to, do that fairly easy. Now I can understand if you,
And in English, I had another one I had a hard time.
I can understand you having problems with algebra or calculus or something, but man,
I didn't even take them.
Or division, or
I took practical math as a senior.
That's the only math you had?
Yes.
So you never took algebra?
No.
The good old 80s, buddy.
I took the basics of everything. I took general science, basic math, English 1. I got kicked out of English because I called the teacher a bitch.
Why would you be one of those people who called their teacher any kind of name?
Because she accused me of throwing a football through the ceiling tile. I didn't do it.
Who did it?
Another Steve did it.
Wasn't there a way of conveying? Didn't you have any other way of conveying? You're confusing me with another Steve. It wasn't me. That was Steve.
All I said is I didn't do it, bitch.
Okay. Didn't you have an easier way to convey that than saying, I didn't do it, you bitch? Couldn't you just say, I'm sorry, Mrs. Smith, that you're confusing me with Steve Davis. He's the one who I didn't throw a football. there's an easier way to
Oh,
communicate, Dan says, Steve, 1 gram of meth costs $25. An ounce of weed is $70. A McDonald's meal is $9. You have $100. Which ones can you buy?
I can buy all of them.
Not with $100.
70. Oh no.
Yeah.
I can get an ounce of weed and a McDonald's meal. I have to cancel out the meth this time.
Or you could get meth and you could get any 2 of them. You just couldn't have all 3.
That's true. Yeah, I just couldn't get them all.
The way to do is to get the way you can do that. Get the weed and the McDonald's, and then give a guy a blowjob behind them. If you give a guy a blowjob behind the convenience store, he'll
That's true.
he'll just slide you the meth at a discount. So you could end up getting. Or Dan says, if you could buy the meth, you wouldn't need. If you buy the meth, you wouldn't need the food. Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
I'm just saying,
Jeff Cole says he'll call Mike Lamb. How the hell you know Mike Lamb, Jeff? He was my class. He was one of my. He was a donger. He was one of my.
He was what?
Got his dong in the bathroom, in the shower.
So there was a guy. There's a guy you went to high school with. You're remembering his dog.
Hope he's not listening to the show. He probably kicked my ass.
So there's a guy named Mike Lamb who went to high school with you, and you can now. How was Mike's dong?
Mike was a little above average.
He's above average.
He was a big boy though. I mean, he wasn't big. He had some muscles.
Who had the smallest dong of anybody on the?
Me.
So you won that one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Me and Jimmy Shears were pretty close together.
I'm sorry, what was his name?
Jimmy Shears.
Jimmy Shears. I'm sorry, Jimmy Shears. I'm sorry, Steve. I'm sorry, Steve publicly said your name. Please forgive him. Yeah. Have you? Are you looked up Jimmy? How's he doing?
Oh, I don't know.
Because we knew that Kreger had the biggest dong, and you looked him up a long time ago.
Yeah. Jimmy lives in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Who lives in Green Bay? Who lives in Green Bay? Jimmy Shears?
Jimmy does. He's a big Packers fan, which explains his little dong.
So he moved from Illiopolis up to Green Bay.
Right.
Was that right out of high school?
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, way to go, Jimmy. Sounds like he, sounds like he lived his dream.
I guess.
No, I'm just going with what you say. You know what I mean? You said he was always a Green Bay Packers fan.
Yeah.
And then he went and moved right out of high school. He moved to Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
So look, he moved to where his team is. He probably got to go to some games and all kinds of stuff. Way to go, Jimmy. I'm very sorry that Steve outed you. I'm very sorry you were outed. I'm very sorry. Oh man. And I will do my best to make sure that Steve does not out anyone else on this program. I'm going to do my best. So, how's it going since you got out of the hospital? How you feeling?
Well, I guess okay.
You guess?
Yeah.
I got to tell you, it is unbelievable how clear-headed and quick you were. Super quick, and when you were in the hospital, you would answer quickly, and there was no
Really?
Steve excess when you're in the hospital. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. It's like you were clear-headed,
Huh.
clear-minded. You were very quick to answer and ask questions, and there was no delay. Now that you're out, there's a lot of delays. You're right. It's the weed.
Huh. Well, I apologize for that. I know, really. I've taken one hit off of vape this morning. That was it. And
I'm just saying
I'm
that.
just,
I guess but you're smoking weed every day since you've been out, right?
I don't do that. I don't do that because I have to go. I have to go to the doctor.
I'm just saying that you've been either smoking flower or vape or so. You've been doing every day. You've been nonstop.
Right.
Yeah. And look at how it's affecting you. By the way, how about this weather?
Yeah. I don't know about this weather.
Dude, I gotta tell you, I don't know. I don't know if I can even go out to work out today.
Yeah.
Because I went and worked out yesterday. And when I came out of the fit club, it was raining. It was dark and raining, and I was like, oh my God. And it was when I was driving, I felt like my car was sliding, I was like, what in the hell? So I get home and I look at my tires. Holy crap, dude. My tires are bald.
Oh.
My back tires are bald.
That's not good.
So there's no way I'll be able to drive.
Right.
Today. So I'm thinking of the tires that I saw yesterday. There's no way I'll be able to, Yeah. So I need to get new tires.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be damned.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything serious about the weather, roads or anything. So, I mean, they told me yesterday at the infusion center that,
Hey, do you know where you could get me some tires? If I said, hey, Steve, get me some tires, could you find some?
Shana.
You would, God forbid, I don't want to call and bother Shaner. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Of course, Caddy's saying the roads are not slippery; they're just wet from the rain.
Cool. That's what I figured because the ground hasn't had enough time to freeze yet. So if it's hitting the ground, it's still thawing out.
Like what time? What time is the? Christina gets what I'm saying. She goes, Steve will go rip them up. That was my question: is where would you rip off? But no. What is the weather? I know we're supposed to get. I know there'll be snow today.
Mine says 31 rain and snow today.
Yeah, but the snow will not stop until 6 a.m. tomorrow. Which, by the way, we're very lucky. It was supposed to be snowing.
Right.
It was supposed to be snowing when you this whole time. The whole time it's been raining. It was supposed to have been snow. Thank God, because I could not imagine how much we'd have gotten if it was snow. Oh my God! Christina says it's snow for the next few days. and super cold this week.
Yeah.
All the way
Oh,
to this weekend.
fuck. Really cold Saturday. Really cold Sunday. Oh, shit. Sunday is a high of 7 -1.
By the way, can you do that math, Steve?
7 -1, 6.
Good. Do you are you ready for the snow to come? Because it looks like it's coming.
I guess. Not really, because I know they don't keep the back sidewalk very clean here. So hopefully they'll do a little bit better job, being they know that I have to trips out into this stuff every day.
So
I don't want to slip and fall.
It is just rain until like 2:00 this afternoon. Then it's going to be snowing. Then it's going to snow nonstop. It's going to snow nonstop throughout the rest of the day and evening. Oh, God. By the way, Christina says she has. I'm so glad we have an HD camera on you now, so people could see you scratching your balls or whatever it is you're doing there. God forbid you scratch your balls without having it on cam. Yeah, but I don't need this winter storm crap. You know, already, good Lord. And then it's going to be super cold this weekend. Oh,
yeah.
So the hope is it's just rain for a while, because then I can.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I can go work out and get back without, before any snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay with as long as it stays above freezing. But once you get below freezing, then it starts to suck big time.
By the way, Christina says they have no heat, but she said they stocked up on food. So is your farts gonna keep you warm? I mean, how the hell are you guys gonna?
Probably. Well, they have to get a new furnace.
Oh, is that what's wrong with it?
Yeah, it's not going to be here till the 17th.
Oh, Jesus. So the furnace has to be replaced. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're a fire hazard. She says they're living on space heaters. That's a fire just waiting to happen. By the way, Christina says, Steve, how is your new chair tree? Did you get your new chair? Did it finally show up?
Yeah. I'm sitting in it right now.
Look at you.
Feels pretty good.
Captain, I haven't heard any amount of gratefulness. I didn't hear you starting the show thanking anybody or anything. By the way, this is your opportunity. I said I didn't hear you starting the show thanking anyone.
Well, I already thanked them. The chair hadn't come yet.
You didn't have the chair on Saturday. You just got the chair. Oh, my God.
Yeah, right.
So
thank you for everybody that contributed to this new chair.
You do know everybody gave a little bit of money.
Thank you for Dan and Christina coming over to put it together. I mean, I could put it together, but they said, "Oh, don't you touch it! Don't you touch it!" So,
Amanda says he did thank everyone when he broke down crying. Listen, he didn't have the chair on Saturday. He didn't have that chair. He just got that chair.
Yeah,
He broke down over the fact that they cleaned his house.
Oh wow, it's clean too. I'm afraid to cook.
And we noticed. Smoking meth with the pores was not on Sunday.
Well, you know why? Because I realized that when I checked my order, one of the main ingredients didn't come. It's kind of hard to make a
Whatever.
sausage spinach
What?
quiche
Whatever.
when you don't have sausage.
Whatever. But I'm saying that you could have started the show today thanking people for the charities, you know.
Thank you to everyone that participated in everything they're doing for me.
Now
My chair.
Now it's a little late.
Well, now it's a little late.
Saying that, you know, you had time to thank people.
Whatever.
You're busy talking about Jimmy and Kreger's dongs. You're busy talking about dongs. We do know that. By the way, we are live on X today. Is it called X, or do we still call it Twitter? Or, you know, what are we calling that, Steve?
I don't know. I've heard it called X. I've heard it called Twitter.
Is it? You know, what do you call it?
I don't. I call it Twitter. I'm not on it or anything like that.
You don't have a Twitter account?
No. I have Facebook, that's all. I'm not on the Insta.
Christina needs to get back on here. I see that she's faking. Something's up. I think she's faking no internet again.
I was on Snapchat for a while, but I'm not a snapper.
Here's a message Christina sent to the private morning disaster. She goes, "Our internet is out. It has been since yesterday, so I won't be on this morning. And if it doesn't come back on before 6 tonight, there won't be a show tonight." So irritated. So I set the show up and did everything, and she says her internet is out and pissing her off.
Oh, baby, pissed off and pissed on.
Thanks, Steve.
Sorry for that. I was on the trivia show last night just to give it a whirl, just to give my new studio a whirl. I really didn't participate in anything. I just kind of sat there and looked stupid. Bubba says, "What exactly is Steve doing here, Holly?"
I'm the Twitter. Wait a minute. So doesn't Holly ask the questions?
Yes.
Okay. So Holly asks the questions. And what is it that you do on that show?
I didn't do anything. I just was there for comic relief.
Well, what does Bubba do?
Bubba, he's a scorekeeper.
All right.
Scorekeeper.
Is he still in the hospital?
Yeah, he's still in rehab.
All right. And you were there.
Yeah.
And what was your job?
My job really didn't have a job. I just was there. I was trying to weed out some of the. We had a couple listeners that were getting a little bit irate. And Tyler kept saying things about it being rigged, and I disqualified Tyler. He said rigged too many fucking times. I said, "You're done, buddy."
Who won trivia last night?
Irene won trivia last night.
Oh, way to go, Irene.
Corey was second.
Yeah.
And I didn't keep score. I just followed along.
Says Steve is Vanna. You are everyone's eye candy, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why you were on the...
Yeah. But I wasn't trying to take anybody's job, but it was funny before we started. Bubba's like, "Okay, now, exactly why is Steve here?"
So, Bubba, you think Bubba was angry that you were on the show?
Yeah. And I was like, he's just there. Oh, okay.
Holly says Bubba was funny, overly social last night. Poor guy's obviously not getting enough social interaction.
He had some friends in the chat room, and he was doing some talking.
But you're saying he was very jealous and very petty towards you?
Oh, I don't think he was just that.
So Jeff says Steve is just a listener.
I am just a listener.
He's trying to figure it out.
Just a listener, and everywhere I go, people of the is changing.
Not sure what those lyrics were to, but all right. You are something else. Holly says Steve was the peacekeeper.
Yeah.
I just feel sorry whenever I hear about any behind the scenes stuff with trivia. I just feel sorry for Holly. She's always. It sounds like she's always in the middle of something. You know what I mean? With this trivia. Man, I wish I had some citrus. You know what I mean? A good orange would.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm gonna, and I tell my wife, I go, like Cindy Lopian gave me, she gave me an orange.
Yeah.
She gave me an orange, and I told my wife, I'm like, well, give me a knife. And she goes, a butter knife? And I go, no, just give me like a steak knife. And like, what are you going to do with it? I'm like, I'm going to cut my orange. We cut and I go, why is this such a problem? Just give me the steak knife. Steve, if I asked for a steak knife with an orange, would you have questions, or would you go, oh, I know exactly what he's going to do? How would you react to that? Like if someone wanted a knife with an orange?
I'd say okay.
Yeah.
Because you want to peel it.
I don't peel it. I hate peeling.
You just cut it and eat it.
Yeah. I cut it into quarters.
Right.
And then I just take the orange and bite it. You know, that's how I'd rather eat an orange like that. And my wife was so bothered by me just needing a knife. I'm like, just give me a knife. Or can I have a knife, please? You know? I hate peeling oranges. I love oranges. One of my favorite things on earth. I love a good orange.
Oh, yeah.
But I hate peeling oranges. Because when I peel an orange, I just get, and then my wife got me this orange peeling thing once. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
No, just give me a knife. Let me cut it. I'll make 2 cuts.
Yeah.
I'll make 2 cuts. And then I'll have quarters of the orange. And then
Right. You just bite into it.
Yeah. And then I'm done.
Like a mouthpiece.
Thank you. Yeah. Aaron says, oh, yeah, Ray can't get anything out of it. What's wrong with that? I don't need you making fun of me for my
that's not bad.
Germ, my germ issues. But what's the big deal? What's the big deal? Let me, just let me eat my orange. Let me eat my orange without being ridiculed.
Exactly.
That's all I want. I just want to be able to eat my.
I like a little orange peel under my nails. I can sniff them later because it smells like orange.
Well, I don't know what's under your nails. Do you wash your hands?
Of course I wash my hands. See, I clean them.
How's your wiping issue going?
What's the weather going to be like today?
I'm just wondering. How's it going? Is it going well?
Um, yeah.
All right, good.
That brings me to another subject: mouthpieces in NFL.
All right. Jeff says Bubba provided menopause counseling. I'm not even sure what that means. Why would a 400 plus pound man give counseling to menopause?
I don't know.
By the way, Spanky says morning.
Is that banker?
Spanky said they're moving a. I didn't even know you could do this. I was talking to him the other day, and he's got to get surgery because his. He said the muscles that hold his Achilles into his heel, something happened, and now the doctor has to reattach things. And he says that it's 6 weeks with no, he can't put weight on that foot for 6 weeks.
Ooh.
So he and his wife are wondering what they're going to do. And then he said they rented a hospital bed. And I said, what? He goes, yeah, we're renting a hospital bed that we're going to put in the, and we're going to keep it there. And we're going to keep it for the 6 weeks for him to sleep in.
Huh.
And I say, so where are you going to go to the bathroom? He goes, well, I'm going to get the urinal thing to where he just rolls over on his side and
Right.
pees into the urinal. You know what I mean? And I don't know if he's going to use a bedpan for the other thing or what he's planning on doing. I don't know, but he said because he can't put any weight on it. So, but I didn't know you could rent hospital beds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You could rent anything if you got any good insurance.
So, good luck, T-Spank. That sounds like it's going to be 6 weeks hell.
Looks like my legs are being pulled back out of hell. They won't be going to hell with Larry's legs.
So you think that the antibiotics are working?
Oh yeah, my legs look great.
For those that weren't listening, Steve just got out of the hospital. His leg was so dirty that it caused his body to go into shock, and it caused him to have a heart attack because the leg was so dirty. And now, so while he was in the hospital, they told him you have an infection and all the pus and everything, and we need to take this infection out of you. And so you're saying the infection is coming out. You're feeling like it's almost over?
Oh yeah, my legs are, except for the discolored, all the scabs are gone, and I don't have to have my legs wrapped up now and all that.
Way to go, Steve. You don't have to wrap the legs now?
Nope. I don't have any running sores, no scabs, or anything. All gone.
So there's no pus coming out of
Nope. No pus coming out.
I remember the one time you had a wound vac.
Oh, yeah.
So you haven't even needed any wound vac this time, huh?
I didn't need a wound vac.
Look at you. I hope we don't end up with I hope we don't get that winter storm that we're supposed to be getting. Because then Steve will be trapped and unable to go. He won't be able to go get his.
Oh no, my truck's full of drive, so.
Okay. I'm just worrying about you.
Neither rain, no snow, no sleet will keep me from getting my infusion.
Good.
Well, except I know I don't know what happened if he don't go, so I don't know if it screwed it all up or what. So I gotta go. I don't know if he missed the dose and it screws everything all up. I know they did blood work yesterday, so maybe he'll get it over earlier. So because they're checking every 3 days, they do blood work to check to see if.
Oh, look at that. I'm glad.
Yeah.
It sounds like the leg is getting back to how it should be.
Yeah. Yeah. They are.
By the way, Tom says over and under, Steve slips and ends up back in the hospital. Oh,
No.
100%.
No, not for 2 years.
Steve will be in the hospital before 2024 runs out.
No, 2 years. 2 years.
You think it'll be 2025 before you're back?
Yeah, that's what we've been so far. We started this in 20, 22, 24. So look, I'm already making my reservations for 26.
Way to go. Spanky says, glad to see you back, Steve.
Well, thank you, Spanky. It's been a long, tough road. Hope you get better too, buddy. Sucks not being able to walk to the bathroom. I know how that is.
You've been walking to the bathroom and everything.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Way to go, Steve. I want you up and walking. What do you look like?
I'm wearing my I know I'm getting tired a lot. So
Well, you'll notice you're getting tired less. You know what I mean? Way to go, Steve Arito.
well, I'm not eating as well as I probably should have. But
Christina says, way to go, Latrella. Yeah, by the way, we haven't heard much from Latrella today. Good morning. We were hearing from good old Latrella the other day, I'll tell you that. If we should have heard Latrell at the beginning of the show when Steve was thanking people for the chair, but he didn't. He didn't have time to thank anyone. I will never donate another cent to. And by the way, I do want to apologize to people who were supposed to receive gifts from my wife and I for Christmas and haven't received anything. People who've received nothing.
Oh.
Because God forbid we have one night to do anything. God forbid.
You know, I saw somebody is selling tamales on Facebook, selling them for $3 a piece.
Yeah, that seems about right. Yeah.
Damn.
$25 for a dozen. It's about the running. Yeah. That's about the going rate. Did you like the tamales we gave you?
I did.
Of course, you're the only person that got them.
The cookies and the tamales were delicious.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Karen says, I thought he said someone was selling Molly on the internet. Look at, there's Dan. I know Dan hasn't gotten his tamales yet. And Dan, I'm very sorry. But that's on my wife. Yeah. I want to get those tamales out. My plan, I have tamales for Dan and Christina. And I have Holly. Oh, Christina says she talked to my wife yesterday. Okay, good. And then we wanted to give tamales to Jason, but Jason's got that. He's got the palate of like an 8-year-old. You know what I mean? Well, seriously, Steve, what does Jason eat for dinner?
The hot dogs, hamburgers,
Yeah, he
French
has
fries, potato chips, Mountain Dew,
hot dogs, or a hamburger, or a cheeseburger, or a pizza.
pork steak.
Will he have a pork steak?
I believe so. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen him have a pork steak. It's always yeah, or else I'll have some form of chicken nugget. You know what I mean? I'll have to ask Amanda if he eats spaghetti. You know what I mean? But Jason has, and I have nothing wrong with it, but I'm just saying that my wife said, "Oh, we got to give tamales to Jason." I'm like, I don't think he'll eat them.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe we don't waste tamales on him if he doesn't eat them. You know what I mean? I have no. Jason says, "Why am I being picked on?" I'm not picking on you, Jason. I'm just saying you have the taste buds of like an 8-year-old. I don't expect you to go out and, there's nothing wrong with having a simple palate, nothing at all. But I'm just going. I know when you have dinner, I see what you have. It's always pizza or cheeseburgers or a hot dog or some form of nuggets, or would he have fish sticks, or is fish sticks too advanced? It's always like food meant for, 8-year-olds. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying I don't think he would enjoy the tamales, Dan says Jason has very pedestrian taste, but that's fine.
Right.
That's fine. If that's what he likes, it's fine. There's, who am I to judge what other people can or can't eat? But what I'm saying is, let's not give him tamales if he's not going to eat them. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I wish I could. I can't. My problem is I just can't eat anything. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll end up having, my wife will go, "What do you want for dinner?" And I'll be like, no. She'll say, "Do you want this? No. Do you want this? No. Do you want this? No. No."
Yeah.
Which, by the way, last week, my wife says, she goes, "What do you want?" She calls me, of course, from my daughter's house, which is, and she says, "What do you want for dinner?" And I said, "I'll take, anything, any kind of food or whatever." She goes, "Well, I don't want to cook anything." Which, by the way, I was just thinking, I bet you cook dinner over. She'll go to my daughter's and cook dinner for her. You know what I mean? And then she'll call me and then say, "Well, I'm not making anything, so I'm just going to stop and get you something." Because I'll be like, "Screw it. Just take a can of tomato soup and heat it up for me." You know what I mean? That's fine enough for me. But my wife says, "I'm getting McDonald's." So she gets me the smallest, like the smallest burger they have at McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like the cheapo burgers that are like under $1. That's what she gets me. The little, I couldn't even eat it.
Oh no.
I couldn't get through it, Steve.
You better off to just take, because there's more burger or more bun than burger.
And I did. I took I took the bottom burger off.
Yeah.
And I just tried to eat it with the top burger, but I couldn't get through it. So, yeah. But I was hoping that, and then she also got me fries. I couldn't even eat the fries. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to throw those away. But I'm just like, it would have been cheaper to just make me a tomato soup. You know what I mean? I'm fine with that. But I was wondering what other kinds of soup are there? What other kind of soups are good?
Oh,
like I'll do the Campbell's. And did you just please try to contain yourself?
I like Hungry Man. Hungry Man.
What is Hungry Man?
Hungry Man soups. It's a soup that eats like a meal. Corn chowder. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be damned. Corn chowder. Yeah. Corn chowder? What is chowder? Chowder is
it's like a milk base.
I don't know if I don't know if
I don't care for clam chowder, but I do like corn chowder. I like jambalaya.
Tom says chickpea and noodle soup. Because here's the
I don't
soup.
know about that.
I'll take a Campbell's tomato soup. I could eat some of that. But I would like to expand. I'd like to expand the horizons to get some different types of soup. Irene says chowder's like a chunky, creamy soup. I don't know if I'd like that. Tyler says, so I'm sitting at work and listening. My coworker just heard that and asked, they are talking about soup and one of them farts. Well, I would think that, listen, don't blame Christina. This is supposed to be me and Steve and Christina. And Christina's the one that keeps the conversation rolling because, she is sensible and pragmatic and she always has good opinions. So I love when Christina's on the show. I'll be honest, when Christina's not here, I don't have a lot of fun because I'm you just heard. I'm broadcasting with this person that can't contain him. He can't keep himself from farting on the air. And by the way, that wasn't a normal sounding fart. Anyone that caught that, it did not sound normal.
Did you hear that?
Yes, it sounded disgusting, like a runny. I don't know what that was. So I apologize to Tyler's coworkers that can hear it. Yeah, Cindy Lopian says, Ray, didn't I give you a can of Progressive tomato basils? Yes, Cindy, I love the Progressive soup you gave. That's what I mean. I want to try different types of soup, but I don't know what to try.
Potato soup is good. I like potato soup. Homemade potato soup is even better.
Yeah, Bill says he caught the fart and it sounded like somebody was hitting a bong. Yes, it did. It sounded it was very disturbing. So let me just apologize. God,
I apologize.
You might want to take that, Christina. You might want to go over and take that chair away from him before you.
Oh no, it's so good on my balls. Ugh. I haven't had to readjust or anything.
Before he puts holes into it. Good Lord, that sounded.
Oh terrible. No, she told me they took out the insurance on it, so it's insured in case it breaks or rips or anything.
I love my chair in my office. Isn't it great? I love it. Isn't it nice when you have a good chair?
Oh yeah, it is. It is. It's not.
Christina said it was rippling off the chair. Yeah, it was sort of like it was like It was very disturbing. Very disturbing. Oh, good Lord. Yeah. Bill says it was wet. It was wet. He says it was wet. Yeah, I think you're right. It did not sound like normal flatulence. That was an abnormal bout. Yeah. Tyler says it sounded like someone was slurping soup.
I apologize. I didn't know that you could hear it, so I didn't. I apologize. I will try to keep my bodily functions under wraps.
Yeah. Good Lord. We got comments from everywhere today. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Good comments today, Steve. I like that. By the way, in my opinion, one of the funniest people alive is there's a comedian named Adam Hunter. Adam's been on my show before in the past. He's a friend of mine. He's fantastic. He liked today's show, Steve.
Oh.
So this must have happened before that.
Oh, that's good.
This must have happened before that flatulence.
Right, yeah, because I ruined the whole show because
how disturbing that flatulence was. So Adam, by the way, Adam was just on. There's some show on Fox News. I wouldn't be caught dead listening to or watching Fox News, but Adam's an entertainer. He does whatever. So, but he was given a chance to. He was a guest on some Fox News show. And I saw video of his segment. He was hysterical. It made Fox News watchable for me.
Wow.
Watching this clip of him, watching this clip of him on the show. So I want to plug him. His name's Adam Hunter. He's a comedian. So, way to go. Way to go, Adam. And thank you so much for liking me.
Yeah.
Today. And Spanky says that fart was a wet one on the new chair. Thank you. Christina says, Steve, we always hear your farts. There's nothing quiet about them. I sometimes try to talk over them so they don't become the subject.
Exactly. I appreciate that. I try to time them just where you're in the middle of a story. So,
well, just don't do it. Or, at least be like Dan. When Dan's on, he also has a flatulence problem. But you guys, when he's on the show, you'll hear it. He literally will reach over and turn off his mic. So sometimes you'll see Dan, he'll be talking and he'll go, and he hits the off. He's got an off button on his mic and he hits it and he goes, you'll see his face go, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then he turns it back on. It's because he's decent and he's turning off the mic to pass gas. Unlike Steve, who I think tries to get closer to the mic when he has his gas. Yeah. Summer came in. She said, good morning.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Summer. Yeah. But Dan, you guys heard Dan's excuse. Dan said it's because he blames his sleep apnea machine for his flatulence, which sounded like that sounds like just pure bullshit to me. He says his sleep apnea machine pushes wind into his stomach.
It pushes too much air,
and so that's why he passes gas, which that doesn't sound real to me. I don't have sleep apnea, but I've certainly never heard that.
I haven't either.
Oh well. By the way, here's the weather forecast.
Oh boy.
And this is when I say this, and this is for our listening area is all over the country, but you can listen from anywhere. But in fact, I think right now we have, I know Tom is from Connecticut, Irene is from Georgia, and Bill is from Florida. I mean, I'm just giving you examples. You know, Joel's from Tecs. We have people from all over the country that can listen. But our primarily listening area is right here in Central Illinois. Here is our weather forecast. All right. We have wind gust coming tonight of up to 45 miles an hour, Steve. Our precipitation will change from rain to all snow today. Tonight, all snow, and it will snow all night. And we're expecting between now and 6 p.m., we are expecting 2 inches of snow in the Springfield area. All right. And Bloomington area. Meanwhile, the Peoria area will be getting about 4 inches of snow. So that's the official weather forecast. All right. We heard the wind gust that was in Steve's apartment. No one wants to relive that wind gust.
Yeah, it's not the snow that bothers me. It's the wind gusts and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 inches of snow, that's not a whole lot of snow. So I don't see it hampering any of my projects anytime soon. So.
Oh, good. I hope not, Steve. By the way, Brent says they have 3 inches of snow already. And he says
That's
it's very
great.
wet and heavy. Brent lives in Bloomington. He says they already have 3 inches of snow. So that forecast might be wrong. Oh, well. Yeah. I don't want any snow. I just want to go work out. Or I want the snow to come and let them shove or let them, do whatever it is they plow or do whatever they do. It is a plow that so I can go work out. Bill says, what are the wind speeds in Steve's shorts? I don't know. I don't even want to think about the wind speed in Steve's shorts or Dan's.
Wind gusts up to 120 miles an hour in my shorts.
I cannot imagine. The wind gust in Steve's shorts.
Oh.
Unbelievable. You see what I did there, Steve?
Yeah.
You can stop your cam or mute your mic anytime you want.
That's what I just did.
Okay.
I farted 3 times. You didn't even know it.
Good. And Bill says they're having wind gusts of over 70 miles an hour tonight.
Ooh.
With extreme high tide and flood warnings.
Ooh.
Oh. Yeah, I looked at a weather map because my mother-in-law was complaining to my wife about how windy it was. How windy it was in Texas. And so I looked at a map of the U.S. Oh, my God. This storm What's going on right now? Have you guys seen how gigantic this storm is? And it's how much of the United States it's affecting at once. It's unbelievable. I mean, it truly is unbelievable. It's all the way down to it is affecting Texas. But yet it's all the way, and it's going all the way up to like Pennsylvania. It's a gigantic storm. It's gigantic. I wish I can explain the whole circumference of it, but it really is. And in actual miles would be something. But it is really. Have you noticed it, Steve? Have you looked at it? Are you aware that we're in a snowstorm?
Oh, yeah.
It's
El
really,
Nino.
it's really insane what we're going through right now. It's craziness, and it's affecting a lot of the United States. So good luck to everybody. I hope
Oh, definitely.
By the way, there's a 450-mile stretch of Interstate 70 that is shut down right now.
Really?
Yeah. Because of this storm.
Huh.
And it's great. See, I wish Dan was on now because Dan's a weather geek. Oh, and he would love to talk.
Oh, yeah, he does.
This would make him so happy.
He
And the
loves
storm's
anytime he can
going
use
up.
his first.
It's going up into Canada. It's crazy. Yeah. He would love to be on talking about this. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh well. By the way, Bill says, and he's in Florida, he says they have businesses and schools shut down. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's insane. And Christina says Dan is obsessed. He's always watching the weather.
No, he wants to be prepared.
Dan says the current system stretches from the Gulf of Mexico into Canada. Yeah,
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. I'm telling you, my wife is from Corpus Christi, Texas. It's right on the Gulf. My favorite place I've ever lived, Corpus Christi, Texas. God love it. Fantastic. I wish we could go back. I would love to go back there. But it's crazy. But they're right now being affected. You know, they're having rain and wind and all that stuff. I mean, it never snows there, but they're having rain, wind, and the whole thing. It's nuts. And this storm is now affecting, Florida, Georgia, Alabama. It's affecting all those Trump states.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's affecting South Carolina, North Carolina, North Kakalaki, Virginia, Maryland, New York. It's everywhere. Tennessee, Kentucky. Wow. Missouri, Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan. What are you doing over there? Why does your breathing sound so?
Huh?
Why does your breathing sound so?
My breathing?
You're breathing. You sound like you're at the end. Am I crazy or are you guys hearing that too?
Good God, I hope not.
Because he's back there going. It sounds like Latrella's over again. I'm hearing a lot of the.
Damn. I'll try to breathe more normal.
Yeah, Tom, you get it. Tom says, I hear the wheezing. Yeah, he's got the wheezing going on. And Dan says, it is possible to be from North Carolina and not be a Trumper. Listen, I'm not saying everybody, but the majority of people, when I say Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, the Carolinas, they're all, we know what the red states are. Yeah, but North Carolina is in the process of turning blue, I guess. So.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't call them the Trump states. I'll just call them the anti-abortion states. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck. I'll just say that. And I guess we'll throw Florida in there too, right? Because isn't Florida?
Yeah.
Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that those are the states where, those are the states where women don't have control over their own bodies, and we'll leave it at that. That's right. You know what I mean? But if you're a guy, you're good. You're good to go. Holly says, I think people are going to be surprised how many states are going to swing. It just wouldn't it depend on, I mean, we don't even know who's running yet, right?
Right, yeah.
Christina says, Steve, please fart again or so. Oh, Christina, God forbid someone talk about conversations for adults. She had no problem with the fart conversations, but God forbid someone talk about politics, or if someone imply that women's choice over their own bodies is an issue. God forbid that be brought up. We don't want to have adult conversations. We don't want to talk about, God forbid we talk about how these states, you want to talk the best states are the ones you don't know. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Best state. If like I live in Illinois, I'm proud to be from Illinois. I'm very proud that our state is what it is politically. However, if I'm a state that wants something from the federal government, I'd want to be a state where you just don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it could go either way.
Right, yeah.
Like we mentioned North Carolina. North Carolina's sort of in the verge of flipping from one to the other. I guess the other is what, New Mexico. Does New Mexico do that from time to time? I'm probably wrong with some of this, but I think New Mexico does that from time to time, and Vegas, and look at all the states that get exactly what they want. All the states that get exactly what they want are the ones that can flip, from one side to the other, because then they get to play one side against the other.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Irene says the only reason Georgia was blue was because of Atlanta. Well, thank God. But I gotta be. We are a democracy. We are a democracy. It's based on population. And so when it comes to democracy, it's whatever the majority says wins, or it should be, but for some reason we're still using the electoral college, which is crazy. But it should be whatever people, whatever the majority of people believe in, that's what we go. That's how it works. I see Holly's complaining about Chicago. Well, Chicago's the biggest population. It's where all the population is.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I live in Springfield, and I'm very blue. I'm not red. I'm very blue. Steve is very blue in his balls, but
man, you go over there to Pana, they are all about Trump, man.
Yeah, they love him. Yeah, but here's the difference. What's the population of Pana?
About 3,000.
Yeah, what's the population of Chicago?
3 million.
Yeah. Guess who wins?
Yeah.
And by the way, and how many? I think the population of Chicago is more than 3 million. Isn't it 7? Am I crazy?
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I checked the pop. What's the population of Chicago? How many million actually live there?
A whole lot.
Yeah. Population of Chicago. Oh, no, you're right, Steve. You're right. That's the metro, but I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
What's the entire area? Like the city itself is 2.7 million people. So you're right. It's just under 3 million.
Huh. I thought it was like 3.1. But...
yeah, but what happens when you take Chicago and you combine it with all the suburbs? What's the population?
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to see what the population is.
Probably 4 million then.
Right?
When you go way north, almost Wisconsin border, and then you go way south.
Like Chicago goes up to the border to Wisconsin on one side and all the way down, So I'm just saying, add that together.
Yeah.
Because I think the state of Illinois has 12 million people in it.
Right.
Don't we have, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought the state of Illinois had 12 million people. And Chicago's got to have probably 4 million when you add all the
I would say 4 million.
All the suburbs and stuff. I mean, look at those gigantic Joliet, Aurora, Naperville. I mean, those are huge towns.
Yeah.
Outside of Chicago. Yeah. Yeah. Karen says Illinois has 12.67 million people. I was born in Chicago, but for some reason, I've been stuck down here. I don't know why my parents decided to move. I don't know why my parents moved from Chicago down to the sticks. I just don't get it. Oh,
well, I don't know. Some people at one time thought that, the public school system in Chicago wasn't the best, so they moved downstate so their kids could get better, more, because there's so many people in Chicago.
Is that the real reason?
I don't know. My brother moved to Chicago. He's been there ever since.
Yeah. All I know is, I don't know. Holly says, as soon as I can get out of the state, I'm going. you know. Oh, Bill says they wanted to keep me out of the gangs. I wouldn't have. What gang would I have been in? What gang would want me?
He has been a blood.
No gang would have wanted me. You know what I mean? No gang. I want to know what gangs would be fighting to have someone like me in it. No. I think I would have had more opportunity living in Chicago than, because I grew up in a small town called Gillespie, Illinois. I love living there, but I could tell at an early age I had to leave in order to achieve anything in the field I was going to be in. I knew I was going to have to leave. So that's, if I could have stayed in Chicago my entire life doing in my chosen field and been just fine. You know what I mean? I could have been just fine. Look at, I got this hair. You see this hair, Steve, sticking up? Yeah. I don't know what gang would have wanted me. Yeah, Bill says that's why he left. Yeah, you understand. Bill, you know what I'm talking about. I loved the town in which I grew up. It was a small town called Gillespie. It was a wonderful town. Great people. I had wonderful times there. However, I had to leave. I was 17 years old. I had to leave. I left to move to Kansas City to go to college. And then I moved back, but I went to Alton, to junior college in Alton, because I found out my chosen profession where I could go to school for 2 years and learn how to do something and start working in 2 years rather than have to go 4 to get going. So, but I also knew I had to move because I chose to be a broadcaster,
Yeah.
And living in a small town, there was no radio. Where the hell was I going to broadcast in Gillespie? I could have grabbed a Mr. Microphone and gotten on top of a building in downtown Gillespie and, and broadcast. Because the whole town only had a couple thousand people in it.
Yeah.
So I had to move somewhere that, had a population. And when I lived in New York, it was the best, most money I ever made, biggest population, most fame, all that stuff was great. And then when my little brother got sick, we moved back here to Illinois and, and then never left. But at least I'm living somewhere in Illinois that has a population and, Yeah. By the way, Irene says we nominate you for best corn thief of all time. Listen, I was a very good corn thief. Of course, the reason I was good is none of the farmers, they didn't care. They didn't care because, as it turns out, I was stealing field corn. I wasn't stealing the good corn. There's good corn, which is that sweet corn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's shitty corn, which is the feed corn. That the stuff my mom would make us steal. My mother would force me into the theft. Kelly says, Ray, you stole corn from my family. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad that. And your family probably knew I was stealing corn and they didn't care.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, let him steal it. This is for the hogs anyhow.
There's those stupid Mexican kids. There's those dumb Mexicans going into the field to steal 10 corn cobs of feed corn. They didn't care. My mother my mother would drive that station wagon. Get out, go steal the corn, and force us to take corn and put it in the. Oh, how embarrassing! Oh my God. Yeah, it's all feed corn. Now listen, if somebody tells me where they're growing the sweet corn, I'd love to steal some of that. Shit. I'd love to get. I don't know. Where do they grow? Where do they grow the sweet corn, Steve?
You can grow it anywhere. I mean,
But aren't they growing it? There's one of the states is, I want to say somewhere weird like Colorado is
yeah.
taking over growing. Am I wrong with that? I don't know who knows anything about farm, but isn't Colorado taking over growing a bunch of the sweet corn?
They're taking over a little bit, yeah.
It's crazy. Iowa.
Iowa, there you go. Iowa, yeah.
I think Illinois, most of the corn we grow a lot of that feed corn.
Right.
But I don't know. What do I know? I'm dumb as a rock. What the hell? I was told during my radio career, and now in hindsight, the guys that said this, they were right on. They would always tell me, like, back at the morning disasters, when we were syndicated, back at the height of the morning disaster, there were guys that would tell me, hey, you got to get out of there. And I'd be like, what? They say, you got to get out. I'd be like, I love living here. Why? You know, I love living here. And they would say, they go, at some point, and I'll give these guys credit. They say, at some point, radio is going to die. At some point, radio will die. And so you're going to need to develop your brand. You need to develop, this, my agent would tell me this too, Steve. You need to develop your brand to as much of the population as you can. So he would say, so the goal is to get you into a Chicago or back to New York or just somewhere in a bigger city, because then you have a bigger audience. So on one hand, they were right. I'll give them that.
Right, yeah.
But on the other hand, I'm the exception. Because look, and by the way, these guys could not, they didn't say exactly what happened, but radio did die. I mean, when's the last time, there aren't shows like this on the radio. There aren't shows like this. The only shows on the radio are conservative talk shows, which are all preaching to the choir. They're all preaching to the cult. Or sports talk, which, by the way,
right.
I'll tell you, I could do sports talk. That would be fun. But there aren't any crazy, there aren't wacky morning shows anymore. There's just not. There's not comedy-based morning shows anymore.
Yeah.
They just don't. They don't have it. And at least I was able to get out of radio and put a show up for subscription and have at least enough people, and thank God to all my subscribers now. I think it's great. If you'd want to subscribe, go to morningdisaster.net for as little as $5 a month. So, but I do sometimes I think about, damn, if I'd been in a bigger city,
yeah,
have more subscribers and more money and all that stuff. Oh, well. It's just crazy. But radio's a mess. I don't know how it goes on. I really don't. Because commercials are, because the rates for commercials, like when we were doing the Morning Disaster at the heart of it, when the show got more popular, I thought it was a brilliant move by the company. They didn't increase the commercial load, because there's two ways they could have made money. They could have just played more commercials, but that's not what they did. They raised the price of the commercials.
Right.
They raised the price to advertise on my show. The price went up to over $100 and some odd per commercial. So we still played the same amount of commercials per hour.
Right.
They received more money from it. So they were making over $1 million a year from just my show. Now, I hardly saw any of it, but
Right.
but still, hats off to them. It was brilliant the way they did it. But now, since the internet and podcasting and everything has gotten more prevalent, radio stations they lowered the price of commercials. They started lowering the price of commercials, and therefore now they have to play more of them. So you listen to radio now, holy crap, it's terrible. It's 1,000 commercials, literally be 30 minutes of commercials in an hour.
Right.
God damn. How do you expect people to sit through that? At least on our show, you sit through 2 signature sponsors at the beginning of the show. And then there's we have room for commercials later in the show, but we currently don't have anyone in those spots. But even the most amount of commercials you'd ever get on one of these shows, and we go at least we'll do 2 hours. We'll do 2 hours of show. You'll get 2 commercials at the very beginning, and that's it. And Dan says in 45 minutes, he was listening to 45 minutes of radio. He heard the same set of commercials 4 times. I'm like, good Lord, it's just crazy. It really is. Times are a lot different. Oh, well. Anyway, so you're going to get your antibiotic today?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's at 2:00?
Shower, I can shower and gooch blast and everything. Yes.
Is it possible to shower and not gooch blast?
No.
Or does that happen every shower?
It's so comforting.
And that's super hot water?
Oh, yeah.
That's super hot water on your testicles and your taint?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Do you ejaculate when that happens?
No. Close.
I don't know. I don't understand
I do get weak in the knees, but I don't fall.
Christina says that's the only reason he showers. Well, I mean, I guess it's a good thing then. How nuts.
I think I'm going to have to go to the restroom.
Well, we're just about ready to wrap up. We're wrapping up here.
Oh, okay.
I'll wrap up so you can go to the restroom.
Good, because I don't want to fart again.
Well, that'd be nice.
Because it won't be a fart. That's for sure.
Well, listen, no stainless. We got to get stainless back. That was my favorite show. And if they're not going to do it, then I want to create a different show because that was my show. I loved that show.
Right. Well,
and it's not just
they live out there and BFE. So
it's not just because I'm an egomaniac, because God knows they talk terrible about me, but I just think it's a good show. But if they're not going to do it, then let me know so I can get another show. Dan says, why no stainless? I don't know. Christina said earlier, she said, no stainless again. So I'm hoping that you guys will.
I hope you guys can do one.
It's my favorite show. I love listening to it.
Yeah.
And I don't want those two fat stoners. Those guys.
They'll be back tomorrow.
Oh.
We'll be back tomorrow.
Can someone hit me with a pitch for a new show? Instead of stroke signals. Two fat guys. One's still in the hospital. The other's fresh out of the hospital.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is they're talking about. But one guy is so stoned on that show. Oh my God. I don't want to name names, but good Lord. It's like an ambulance is waiting to pick him up. Irene says, Steve and Irene discuss serious topics like fashion and food trends. Oh, no.
Sure. Puddin has shitty internet too, though.
I've noticed that. He needs better internet.
He is way out there.
Right? NFL playoffs start this weekend, Steve. Are you ready?
Oh, boy.
Have you got your Super Bowl? You got your Super Bowl picks yet?
No, one of them, but I think San Francisco is going to go. One of
The two top seeds are San Francisco and Baltimore.
That's I don't know.
You know what? I got to tell you something. I think you're right when you say San Francisco looks like they're going to go, but don't you get the feeling that they are due for a if I said pick one team that's going to choke. Pick one team that's going to choke in the playoffs, Steve. Wouldn't the top guess be San Francisco?
Yeah.
I think that would be my top pick.
I don't know. I
choking. I really, for choking. I mean, Jeff says the Eagles, but I got to tell you, the Eagles are lucky to get in.
Yeah, exactly.
If there would have been one more week of the season, the Eagles would.
Yeah, they would have got in. Yeah.
I think they're going to lose first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't.
And at the beginning of the season, I was like, oh, this is going to be the Eagles' year. And they have just fallen apart.
The Eagles are just hurting so bad now. I mean, I don't know if, Brown's out, broke his finger, I
don't know, Jalen Hurts.
I
AJ Brown's out.
Jalen
Hurts is, I don't know, dude.
I don't think Kansas City got it this year.
Yeah, they've been falling apart. Yeah.
Yeah, although I was thinking about this the other day when I was trying to think of all the veteran quarterbacks. If I had to pick a veteran quarterback right now that I would want to put on my team, I'd go with Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. Yeah, you know what? I was having this conversation this weekend. I said, if there's one team, they said pick an underdog, there's no doubt I would pick Cleveland.
I think Joe Flacco is definitely.
Pick one team that's on a roll right now that could surprise people, it would be Cleveland.
Yeah.
It would not shock me to see Cleveland versus Dallas or Detroit in the Super Bowl, right? That would not shock me.
Yeah, that could be Detroit. I mean,
Well, I'm just saying, if I had to pick Cleveland versus either Dallas or Detroit, because those are Cleveland's a super hot team, and Joe Flacco's, what is he, 58 years old or whatever the hell?
Yeah.
How old he is. He's really looking great.
The problem with Dallas is they're just so They've
Well,
been so up and down. 1 week they're on, 1 week they're off. 1 week
the
they're on.
problem with them is
Inconsistency.
inconsistency. Yeah. I don't know, dude. Who knows? But I think I'm ready for the football playoffs because I think it's going to be it would not shock me. I would not be shocked if it's San Francisco versus Baltimore, the 2 top seeds.
Right.
But also, I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked if it's Cleveland versus Green Bay. I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
This year is nothing would surprise me.
Oh, no. No.
I love the Chiefs. I love the Cowboys. You know, there are teams that I love, but it would not shock me if they just fall apart in the playoffs. Cindy says Baltimore versus Detroit.
Huh?
And Cindy's a big Steelers fan.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, Detroit has been fun to watch this year. They really have been.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'll tell you, Steve, I also see the Philadelphia Eagles having a meeting and saying, hey, let's get our shit together. And maybe pulling it together.
They're really going to have to get their shit together, though.
Yeah. But it's, you know, I just think this is going to be a great year because,
yeah,
you know, I'm looking forward to that. I really am looking. Jeff says he thinks Sirianni's going to get fired.
They're saying if they don't make the playoffs,
Could you imagine he went to the Super Bowl last year, and now they're talking about firing him. Oh,
if they don't make it, yeah, I've heard that talk.
He went to the Super Bowl last year.
Well, Ron Rivera lost his job.
Yeah, but somehow the Bears coach still has his job.
Yeah. But now they're making it sound like the Bears are going to let Fields go. Fields, after the game of Sunday, said, well, I gave it my all here, I hope. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know.
That'd be the dumbest move they ever made.
I don't get it. I don't know. I think if the Bears give up on him, he's going to go somewhere.
And he's going to thrive. And he's going to
go somewhere. And
where did he play? Where did he play college ball?
Ohio State. He started at Georgia, but then he transferred to Ohio
He seemed like he would be a really good option quarterback. And they don't run options.
Listen, he was a great pocket quarterback at Ohio State. But they actually had a – listen, the problem with football is you have super athletic quarterbacks.
Right.
All right? You had super athletic quarterbacks. And what you have to do is look at Baltimore. Baltimore has devised a system around an athletic quarterback.
Right, yeah.
Which is why, and they have an African-American quarterback in Lamar Jackson, who I think is fantastic. And they figured this out because early on his backups were Joe Flacco and, you know,
right,
people like that. And then when Lamar Jackson would get hurt, the team would lose. Then they got smart and they said, let's bring in a backup that plays exactly like Lamar.
Right.
And they got backups that play exactly like he does. Then they started winning with the backups too. So when he was hurt.
I think that's what's helped New Orleans too. They have, you know, Tamsin Hill that can come in and play quarterback and be a very physical quarterback. And Carr is just to be your basic throw and hand off quarterback.
But I'm saying what you need is consistency in football. You need to have a team, all right, that's led by a quarterback. You have to design your offensive system to be played by that quarterback.
Right.
Here's the Bears' problem. They have a gifted quarterback in Justin Fields who is athletically gifted. He could run the ball, he could move. But here's a young African-American kid as their quarterback. And they had an offense that was made for a 38-year-old white man, a 38-year-old white slow guy. That's what their offense was made for. And you have this young athletic guy playing in that system.
Yeah. Okay, but man, the Bears have no fucking protection at all.
But Steve, this is what I'm saying is it's more than just the protection. It's the system. Look at the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens coach, John Harbaugh,
right,
realized it when Baltimore played against the San Francisco 49ers in the Super Bowl, and they played against Colin Kaepernick. And he figured out, he's like, look at what this Kaepernick does. This guy throws the ball, he runs the ball. Oh, my God. And then they drafted a quarterback that played exactly like Kaepernick in Lamar Jackson, right?
Yeah.
And then he said, we need to make our offense suitable for him. So they designed an offense that was made for an athletic quarterback that could run or throw on every single play.
Right.
That's how they structured their offense because Harbaugh realized it. By the way, the guy that structured the offense that Colin Kaepernick played in was Jim Harbaugh.
Right.
John Harbaugh's brother when he was coaching the San Francisco 49ers. That's who structured that offense. The Philadelphia Eagles offense last year was structured in the same way. Of course, their offensive coordinator who structured it left. And their defensive coordinator who put together that great defense left. One went to coach Indianapolis, the other one went to coach Arizona. So now those two guys are gone, and look what's happened to look at what happens to Philadelphia.
Right.
Philadelphia's team has fallen right into the shitter. And look at, so when you draft a player, when you get a player with certain skills, you have to design your offense. You have to design the offense specifically for that player. The Chicago Bears didn't do that.
Right.
The Chicago Bears were too dumb to figure that out. And their reasoning was, well, we have to worry about what's going to happen when Justin Fields goes down with injury. Oh, gee, so you're playing for the injury? That's the dumbest fucking thing. You know, how about design an offense for a specific player? And now I see these people going, well, just let Justin Fields go and get Caleb Williams. Get Caleb Williams from USC. By the way, Caleb Williams from USC is a little bit better in the pocket because he's not as fast as Justin Fields. All right? But he's the same fucking quarterback. He's the exact same quarterback.
Yes.
He has the skill set, except he's a little better in the pocket and he's a little slower at running the ball. Now, the kid from North Carolina, that Drake, the other quarterback, Drake May or whatever, He's just a pocket passer. He's too,
Right.
he can't run for shit. He's another Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, boy.
But at least he'll be able to he'd play in that Bears offense. I'll tell you what, because
Right, yeah.
that offense was the best offense they made in 1998. I'm sorry, it's 2023. You better create some plays that work in 2023.
Right.
If I was the Bears, how hard is it to steal Baltimore's offense? If I was the Bears, I'd say, oh, you want to be the offensive coordinator of this team? Here's 18 tapes of the Baltimore Ravens team. Learn all those plays. That's the plays you want you to come up with here.
Right.
You know what I mean? The Chicago Bears should keep the quarterback they have. Keep the quarterback they have and draft linemen to protect him and steal the Baltimore Ravens playbook. They'll be fine. They're too fucking dumb to figure that out. They really are. They're going to make a decision based on someone's.
Yeah.
They'll make a decision based on how Christian someone is. If you guys think I'm joking, read up. Read up on the Chicago Bears ownership.
Oh, yeah.
Just read up on them. And I'm telling you, man, they would be a much better team. They would be a much better team stealing the offense from the Baltimore Ravens. You know what I'd do? I'd fire the coach and I'd hire that guy from the guy from Washington who used to play for the Bears.
Oh,
Eric Bieniemy was a running back who played. Didn't he play for the Bears?
yeah.
All right. Steal him. Steal him. And make him come be the head coach of the Bears. When he was the offensive coordinator with the Kansas City Chiefs, all the Kansas City Chiefs did was win.
Right.
He was the one who designed those plays for Pat Mahomes to run. Put that guy in charge of the Chicago Bears. Holy shit. You want to see some winning. Put that guy in charge. I guess maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but, oh, well. That makes sense to me, but they won't figure it out. And by the way, I think Bieniemy's going to stay right where he is because Washington fired their head coach yesterday.
Right.
And the rumor is that they're interviewing Bieniemy today to upgrade his position from offensive coordinator to coach. You know what I mean? They are. And by the way, how did Washington get him in the first place? Because the Kansas City Chiefs organization, one of my favorite teams, but what a shitty organization. Seriously. What a shitty organization. They won the fucking Super Bowl with Andy Reid and his coordinators, one of which was Eric Bieniemy. So Eric Bieniemy, after the Super Bowl, they talk to him and they say, what would it take to keep you? He goes, I want more money.
Right.
And they didn't offer him a raise. So he ends up going for the same job at Washington. And do you know why he went there?
More money.
They made him the highest paid offensive coordinator in football, so he went. So the Kansas City Chiefs could have kept him. You could have kept him. And then who did they hire as their offensive coordinator? The guy who led the Chicago Bears to those shitty seasons they've had. He's the offensive coordinator now, and the Kansas City Chiefs are not the same team. They're not the same team.
Right. Oh, no.
Because they don't have And Andy Reid, trust me, Andy Reid is great at calling plays. But the guy who designed those plays was Eric Bieniemy. He's gone. I mean, Jesus. He's going to end. Washington's not going to let him get away. They're going to name him the head coach. You watch.
Yeah.
So the Bears should say, it should be a very easy decision. They should say, all right, let's fire this guy. Who's the guy calling? Who's the offensive coordinator of Baltimore? Oh, really? Okay. Offer him $8 million. Get his ass over here and go. That's what it should be, that hard a process.
Right.
That's what the process should be. Oh, really? Who's their offensive coordinator? Hire him. That's the guy they should have. I don't know. What do I know about sports?
Yeah, that's true.
I just make a shitload of money betting on them. What do I know? All right, we should wrap it up. Steve looks like he's in pain. He has to go to the bathroom. I just tried to talk sports with you, Steve, because I know you played, so I thought you'd have some comments to make about it.
Right.
You're just sitting there like, oh, I got to shit. Oh, I got to shit. You have that look in your eyes, so we'll wrap it up. We'll come back tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
We'll wrap it up so Steve can go have a shit face.
Oh, yeah, explosive.
All right.
I can feel it.
All right, buddy. Go take care of your business.
Yeah.
Go take care. We'll come back tomorrow.
Take care of business.
We will come back tomorrow at 8 a.m. You guys have a great rest of the day. Bye, everybody.
Yep. Everybody have a good day.
Bye.